That's it now, I say. Peace and tranquility. In search of, eh? Just thought I'd do a quick live while I'm down here. Hey then, Gus. Just thought I'd do a quick one. Noticed Sean had done one on the 7 principles of office, the Nolan principles. As I always point out to them, anybody in office, these civil servants are all they're all there to adhere to the 7 principles of office. Wouldn't it be great if you could just stay on the point and make them adhere to the 7 principles of office? It'd knock it all out of fucking context, wouldn't it? Because everything they do is about a lie. There's no facts in anything that's going on in this world, especially in the judicial system. Because the judicial system, and what people call as a government, is all corporations. And as you should know, a corporation can only contact with a corporation because the dead can't contact with the living and the living can't contact with the dead. That's sorcery, isn't it? Necromancy, speaking with the dead. So everybody's guilty of necromancy, really, especially those ones that are saying they're going to court, because it ain't them that's going to the court. It's their legal embodiment that was created to them at birth. Not on them, on their placenta. Yeah. So under the 7 principles of office, the Nolan principles, it would be very easy to ask the judge who's been summoned to the court and hold him under the 7 principles of office, which is selflessness, integrity, honesty. We just stick for those 3, shall we? Let's just stick to those 3. Honesty. That's the judge. Who was summoned to the court, judge? Are you saying it's me, the living man? Or are you trying to say it was the legal embodiment that was created for me by the UK Corporation or Crown Corporation or Vatican, whatever you want to call it, that never told us about it? Yeah, so that they could deceive us. I mean, let those that deceive be deceived is great, but to deceive somebody in the first place isn't, is it? They never told us about it. They never let you know that they'd created a legal embodiment or anything of what they'd done. So it's very easy to deceive people, you know what I mean? If they don't know, do they? That's the whole thing about this, what's going on in this world. There's no facts. No. So, you know, wouldn't it be great asking the judge, who's here? Who's been summoned, really? Come on, tell the truth. You know? You're meant to be adhering, therefore I'm holding you. Because if you fail to adhere to the 7 principles of office, that's his malfeasance. Because they require your consent. They require your consent, and that consent is basically to say that you're the legal embodiment. Because they've got the consent of that, because they created it. Remember, what you create, you control. And that is not you, a legal embodiment, and that's the only thing that's ever been invited to any summons to any courts, remember? So, anyway, I just thought I'd just have a little randle. Thought while I'm down here, I might as well have a chat. I see there's, obviously there's more people that have heard about the bigger awards that I shed. I think that was last year. Well, it was last year. Beginning of last year, where there was, what was it? I think there was one that was £1 million reward for anyone that can prove COVID-19 exists. You know, so now what we got down here, we've got people fishing because obviously they've all heard about the reward. So they're all fishing, they're trying to catch COVID-19 so that they can get the reward, the £1 million reward. I think the last one, there was 2. There was one with, I think it was 100,000, 150,000 euro. There was also one with £1 million reward. But anyone can prove and substantiate that COVID-19 exists. Still not been received, has it? The reward's still there. Nobody can still prove that it exists, because we're not talking about corona, by the way. Obviously corona, because we can see that that's created, because it was created by a man, because there's a patent on it. And obviously you can't patent anything natural, so it wasn't natural. The coronavirus isn't natural. Otherwise it wouldn't have a patent on it, would it? So, you know, I'm not talking about corona here. I'm talking about COVID. COVID doesn't exist because it's never been proven, it's never been substantiated, yeah? So it's just a presumption. And that's what we're all working on. But like I say, we've got fishermen out here. This lady here, she must have heard about the reward. What do you reckon? I reckon she's looking for the £1 million reward. See if she can catch COVID-19. Do you reckon it might be in there? Because no one's actually seen it yet. They've heard about it. A lot of people talk about bullshit there, don't they? And no one actually sees it. You know, don't confuse the two, by the way, because that's what they did. They confused COVID with corona. Two different things. Two complete different subjects, yeah? Like I say, we can substantiate that the coronavirus exists because, you know, there's a patent on that. But the COVID-19 BS, I'm afraid it's not yet been caught. But hopefully she might have caught it. Do you reckon? She might have caught COVID-19, yeah, let's find out. If she has, I'll direct her to the reward. Yeah, isn't it great? So yeah, hey, bud. Big doggy, big doggy, big dog. So yeah, 7 principles of office. I shared that video earlier. You know, I'm sure everybody knows about it. But ultimately, you know, it's there, isn't it? It's there, it's in black and white, it's on the own government website. Tells you all the people that are involved, everyone that's working in the public. Yep, and they're all to adhere to it. You know, wouldn't it be good? Wouldn't it be good? Yeah, Sufilemu. Oh, like Allah, my friend. What are you doing? Eating again? Eating and beer, huh? You're going live now. You're going live now, my friend. Are we beering? You're a diamond. Hey, God bless you, mate. Albanian. Hey, A for Albanian. God bless you, my brother. I'm just doing a live. I'll just finish this and I'll come and I'll have this beer with you, my friend. So yeah. So yeah, the point is now, like, you know, the main point is I just thought I'd do this quick video because ultimately, yeah, these people in here that are dirty, lying, thieving scoundrels, whether they know it or not, you know, it's all corporations. There's no actual fact. We've got any fact here. We've got the facts that they're corporations. And as you should know, corporations are dead entities, fictions, legal fictions. It's all about the fiction. Yeah? There's no facts here. We have to substantiate a fact, like the Baron David Ward clearly pointed out. Because don't forget, the Baron David Ward won it with his legal embodiment that was created. You know, because he needed to see the contract that the Mr. David Ward had had signed. Because Mr. David Ward, even though it being a fiction, we can all play the same game, guys. It's a fiction. So how? Tell me how could, let's say for myself, how could Mr. Andrew Devine, how could Mr. Andrew Devine have ever given his consent? Can't have done, can he? Because Mr. Andrew Devine is a dead entity, and a dead entity can never give its consent, can it? But the Mr. Andrew Devine, yeah, was created for me at birth, to my placenta. There was no contract, there was no meeting of the minds, and they never told me. So what the hell? So, you know, I can ask the question for him, can't I? For it, for that legal entity, for that legal embodiment, to produce whoever's claiming, yeah, that it's being summoned to court because it's done a wrong, and they're going to enforce an act of statute on it because they've just created a charge and constructed a trust to bring that trust into the court, Mr. Andrew Devine, which is the trust. They're taking that trust into the court. Remember, the actual statutes that they're trying to enforce that law upon it, that they call law, which isn't law, it's legal, yeah? So that charge they brought against it, yeah, to put that charge against it, Mr. Andrew Devine must have consented. He must have signed a consent to be governed form, because all of the acts and statutes requires the consent of the governed. So they're assuming and presuming that Mr. Andrew Devine ever consented. And if somebody makes a presumption, all we have to do is formally challenge, because remember, any claim made without any substance can be dismissed without any substance. So you dismiss all, and demand that they provide the material evidence to substantiate their claim that Mr. Devine has ever consented, or the legal embodiment of every single one of you has ever consented. That's all the Baron ever did. That's all the Baron ever did. And what did the court do? They put their hands up and said no contest. Because they can't contest, yeah? Because they have to gain your consent, yeah? And that consent, as you know, either comes in the form of a wet ink signature, or by deception, in the sense as not so much deception, by the fact that you never challenged it. Just in the same way, guys, as, you know, if you're making an affidavit against somebody and they fail to rebut it, when they don't answer, that means that they agree to it. So remember, when they say your fucking legal embodiment has given the consent for them to force those acts and statutes upon it, you have to challenge it. Otherwise, just like an affidavit, you agree to it. So that's all I'm saying, guys, you know. This is all I've ever, you know, it's all I'm trying to get to. And I'm hoping this comes through to the normal people to understand, because everybody talks about the problems. I don't bother talking about the problems. I'm not interested in the problems. I'm interested in the facts. I'm interested in what can be substantiated, something that you can hold in your hand. There's some documented fact to say that Mr. Andrew Devine has ever given that consent, or anybody's. Yeah. So, you know, you are not the name, no. Name, actually, if you look up the word name, you know, find out the word name, look it up and do the etymology, it means no man. Name means no man. But remember, they had to, the system that we're living in, the matrix that we're living in, had to create you a legal name, had to create that legal person, had to create that legal embodiment, had to create that implied, and they implied that trust on you. They implied that trust on you, pure and simple, so that they could contract with you. Because they cannot contract, because they're all dead. They're all a fiction. And the only way that they can contract to you is by you contracting with them and agreeing that they had the consent to speak to your legal embodiment. He didn't. And they have to produce that material evidence, unless you just allow them and consent by tacit agreement. So, I'm going to go and have my beer with my Albanian friends, yeah, and say good morning with them, like, name equals not me. No, actually, if you do the etymology on it, Reg, name actually means, the pi root of name means no man, okay? Name, that's the definition. The definition of name, the finite meaning, or the denotation, whatever you want to call it, yeah, the finite mean, and it mean what it actually, the meaning of what that word means, name, the name actually means no man. So no man, like I said, no man has been invited to the court. Exactly what I'm saying. No man or woman has ever been invited or summoned to a court, because it was the name. It was the name that was summoned to the court. And that name, yeah, was created by the corporation, because it had to create that name so that it could speak. Because it can only speak to another corporation, because a corporation can only speak to a corporation. You're living men out there that I'm speaking to now that's listening to this. Obviously it's living men and women I'm speaking to, because corporations cannot hear a goddamn thing, can they? They're dead. They're dead entities. Yeah? The trick is because, or should I say the deception is because of what we were brought into the understanding and knowledge and believing. That's what it was. And because we're long in the tooth, it's very difficult to get it round because it's the reverse psychology that's been done on us all. But once you get to grips with it, yeah, and see it for what it is, you're free. You can also call the legal embodiment Jesus. Yeah. You can call it Jesus because it was the Immaculate Conception, just like Jesus was an Immaculate Conception, yeah? Born without a father. Because the name is born without a father. It was born of the mother and the mother alone. Because the name was created to the placenta. The torture was they bullied you because, or the bad thing that they did was they cut the umbilical cord. And bear this in mind, guys, because they won't do that to a Jew. I'm not even knocking Jews now, I'm just saying what is here right now. Why do you think they're more intelligent? Because they had all of their nourishment that was given to them, yeah, before it was cut. And these people go and do what they want with it, because these are sick people. They love those placentas because they're full of goodness that these people eat and drink, yeah, and do all sorts with. Anyway, guys, the point is, life is beautiful. Understand who you are, you'll have no problems. Understand who you're not, yeah, you'll definitely have no problems, because you'll never be answering to that. And if you do choose to contract with that, yeah, it'll be on your terms and conditions. Remember, everything in life is a contract. Anybody that's coming to you is with an offer. They're trying to contract with you. And every contract has two sides to it. There has to be two parties, yeah? There has to be two of a party in a contract. You can't have one-sided contracts, guys, unless you just keep giving it up to them. And remember, your terms and conditions are equally as important to the other terms and conditions of the other person that's contracting with you. You can say no just like they can say no to you. And I'm sure everybody that's tried to report a crime or tried to do anything or tried to get some honesty from these sick people, because that's why they're sick, because they've been compartmentalized. Remember, these people that, you know, the ones that don't know, yeah, which is, I would say, the majority. The ones that don't know, because that's all they've ever known. They're just like we are. And if you want to know what the problem is, go and look in the mirror, because there can't be a problem unless you accept it. You can't be deceived unless you allow yourself to be deceived. So it's yourselves, always ourselves. If you want to look to blame, go look in the mirror. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go have my beer with my buddy. Take care, God bless, keep smiling, have a blessed day. Bye-bye for now.